Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Freestyle boxing talk. I've been talking so much about Claressa Shields, I'm like, I gotta let the people know. I still know what's going on out here in boxing. We still know what's going on. We know about Gervonta Davis. Let me tell you something, man. I ain't gonna kick a man when he's down. But I just think it's almost like Gervonta Davis has a propensity of just domestic violence. I just feel sorry for Gervonta Davis and his name ending up in all this shit, man, when it comes to women. I mean, let him be known for being a womanizer, you know what I'm saying? Not a... Let me check something here. Yeah, but he has a propensity towards, like, domestic violence, you know what I'm saying? There's a pattern there. But I don't know what to do with this guy, man. The man was arrested again, you know what I'm saying? It's like the third time or something. Something about, battery and kidnapping, and girls say he choked her and then, kidnapped her. Some bullshit, man. It's just out there in Miami again. I don't know what the deal is with him, but, had the incident with his ex-girlfriend, then this civil suit, kidnapping, aggravated battery, and the legal mess just raises questions about his upcoming bout with Jake Paul. Many believe the fight may be canceled or heavily disrupted. Let me tell you something. Netflix was behind this fight. Netflix isn't going to be okay with that. They can't have anybody associated with negativity and violence, especially, battery and kidnapping towards a woman. They can't have that guy on their platform. This is like what we were talking about. Now, of course, this is not on the level... Claressa Shields and her drama is not on the level of a Gervonta Davis and what his name is being attached to with this kidnapping and all that. And of course, we got to wait and see how it plays out. But it goes again, we talk about attitude, behavior, your perception. Gervonta Davis could possibly lose out on a $40-50 million payday against Jake Paul because of his, we don't know the whole story, but from what we're getting, attitude, decision making, all bad. The bottom line, when it comes to Gervonta Davis, his ring value is being compromised. Promoters, broadcasters, and fans will factor in the distraction and risk. And I'm telling you, people are turning their backs on him. At this point, fans don't want to hear shit from Gervonta. I have an open mind. I don't know. He hasn't said anything for me to come out here and be like, he got a bad attitude or he's this, he's that. I see him talking shit in boxing, but this thing with women, I don't know what to say, but, I do believe that a lot of times from where there's smoke, there's fire. You know what I'm saying? And, I just try to understand. I've seen a lot of young men get themselves in a lot of trouble over females. And I know how women can be, but I also know how I've seen guys that are just ridiculous for no reason. But for me, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. I know no matter how much, whatever's going on, it ain't worth it to have your name mixed up in that shit. So, good luck to him. But to see this man miss out on a $40-50 million payday, remember what we've been talking about. Even with like Claressa Shields and her situation, you get key decision makers who are sitting back. You don't even realize it. They're like, that guy, yeah, he can fight. There's some money there, but we ain't touching him. And I think that's a position that Gervonta is putting himself in, a position where nobody want to touch him, especially when it comes to women. So I hopefully we get a bit more, specifics on what happened, because I really hope the shit ain't true. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, when it comes to Jake Paul, him and Gervonta, some people are glad the fight may not happen. They're like, Jake Paul is out here fixing fights anyway, but I'll say this. The Davis-Paul fight, it's under a lot of pressure. Jake could be going out and fighting Carl Froch, but it's like a 2-3 week notice. So, I don't know what's going to happen if they're just going to lose the bout, but I just think with Gervonta's legal issues piling up, the speculation is rising that the matchup might not happen or might be dramatically altered. So some critics are already using language like fixed or prepackaged, or they're even saying that this narrative about Gervonta Davis and kidnapping was something that they concocted to help promote the fight because the fight isn't being promoted and there's not much support behind it. I don't know about all that, but fixing an exhibition, let me tell you something. Gervonta Davis for no amount of money, is going to allow himself to get in there and be knocked out by Jake Paul. So people need to stop that bullshit. I do think Jake Paul's a solid dude, man, where he's going to try to understand both sides, and Jake Paul is going to do his best for MVP promotions. Jake Paul is going to do his best for his career. He ain't going to sit there knowing there's a chance Gervonta was mixed up in some bull crap like that and decide to carry him along. Jake Paul ain't money hungry. He want to make his dough, but he ain't desperate. He know he doesn't need Gervonta. So hopefully a guy like Carl Frock can come down and fill in for Gervonta. But I'm just telling you, if a fight like this goes ahead, despite these distractions, people are going to question the legitimacy, the integrity, and whether it's being staged more than a spectacle than for the sport of boxing. And if the bout falls apart or sees odd promotional angles, then that have only strengthened. So, we'll see how Jake Paul comes out here, if he's going to, try to, fix a fight, or we're gonna see what he's gonna do. I'll be honest with you, I don't know. Okay, but I think it's crazy that Gervonta Davis is mixed up. I can't even think properly. Like, he's mixed up in this shit again. Like, I just don't understand. One time, another time, I just don't get it. It's like a guy who has 6 kids by 6 different women. It's like, my man, you first time you didn't, second time, all right, third time, what? Fourth time, fifth, sixth time, you just reckless. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, on to something different. Andy Cruz, the Cuban phenom, man. He's an amazing fighter, man. He's made a smooth transition to boxing. I think he has 6, 7 fights, 3 knockouts, man. He can fight. But he's going to be fighting Raymond Murataya for the lightweight title. Let me tell you something. Murataya is no joke. But when it comes to Cruz, his path is exciting. Excuse me. High amateur pedigree, good pro start, big titles looming. But the real risk is having so much hype so early means a stumble could derail his momentum. He's training with Bozy Ennis, which is a good thing. But right now, we just got to see if he can live up to the amateur legendary status. That will define whether he becomes a major star or just another good boxer with potential that never fully lands. And if he gets past Raymond Murataya, Andy Cruz is out of here. Because Murataya can scrap. But if Andy Cruz can do the business, he's out of here. The only thing that concerns me with him is just his chin, He's a little bit chinny. But other than that, I think Andy Cruz should get the win. Now, Brian Norman Jr. and Devin Haney, everything to gain and everything to lose for both of them, I got Brian Norman Jr. winning that fight. I said that, I'm going to keep saying that. I think when he hits people, to me, he's like Triple G. A Triple G and a Danny Garcia. Looks simple, but effective. When they hit fighters don't like it. And he's preparing for Devin Haney. And he's very loud, he's very confident. Norman Jr. has publicly declared that his equal or superior footwork and timing is what's going to be the difference. And I like the fact that he's out here and not letting everybody push the narrative that Devin is far superior to him in every category. I just think people, again, they just like a fighter and they're not being fair and impartial. I'm being fair. I'm telling you. Devin, speed-wise, may have a little more speed, but his footwork, just because they move a little bit faster than Brian's, don't make the footwork better. Timing, I don't think it's better than Brian Norman Jr. It's about the same. Power, you definitely got to give the power edge to Brian Norman Jr. Then with Devin Haney, he's going up to 147, claims, freedom from weight cutting, which is good for him because sometimes I thought he was going to die, man. Like, Devin Haney looked ghoulish the way he was cutting weight. A lot of people see Devin Haney as a safe pick. You know what I'm saying? But some say maybe too safe. But here's the deal. Brian Norman Jr. will fight anybody. But Devin Haney is a fight that got made out. Now, there's some Devin Haney fans who feel that Brian Norman Jr. is an easy win. But I'm just telling you, this win is not an easy fight for either one of them. I'm going to say that shit right now. I just think Norman Jr. wins. But if Norman Jr. can win, he's going to become a breakout star. The win over Devin Haney is really going to do a whole lot for his profile, man. And the same thing with Devin. If Devin beats Brian Norman Jr., Devin is back. Haney can reaffirm his elite status with a dominant showing. It's just, can he do it is the question. But if either one of them lose, they lose major value. Brian Norman Jr. ain't supposed to lose to pillow-fisted, fragile-chin Devin Haney, and Devin Haney ain't supposed to lose to slow-footed, inexperienced Brian Norman Jr. But I'll just tell you, if Norman loses, people will question his hype. You know what I'm saying? And I'll say Devin Haney was right. Norman Jr. fought nobodies. But if Haney loses, his legacy and momentum could take a serious hit. So it's high risk, high reward for both fighters. Very fun fight. Then you got Fabio Wardley. Win, lose, or draw, he's already won. You know what I'm saying? Fabio Wardley pulled off a dramatic come-from-behind victory over Joseph Parker in the 11th round. Now being ranked higher and getting more attention, supposed to be fighting Usyk. Let me tell you something. In many ways, Wardley already won. He already won when it comes to boxing. Broke it into meaningful heavyweight contention. The guy never had an amateur background. Raised his profile globally and forced fans to take notice. We're talking about him now. So regardless of his next result, he shifted the perception of his career. For him, the moment is already real. And Fabio Wardley, to me, he's already won. Now, at the end of the day, Gervonta Davis, he's battling offering issues that threaten his marketability and legacy, but he got to figure shit out. Jake Paul's fight with Davis is under question. Is Crawford going to step in? The fixed spectacle narrative, it looms largely, you know what I'm saying? Andy Cruz is on the cusp of greatness. But always, as always, potential comes with the threat of failure. Brian Norman Jr. and Devin Haney is the fight to see. Both sit at a career crossroads, win big and ascend. Lose and the story changes. And with Fabio Wardley, he may not be champion, or he's interim, but he ain't the big dog yet. But he's already a winner in the perception game, and just the fact that he looks like he's going to be fighting Usyk, win, lose, or draw, that man's already won. You know what I'm saying? The fact that he would have fought, came out of nowhere, fought for undisputed, even if he loses. No one would have thought he would have been in the position that he's in right now. Anyway, y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.